Welcome to the Unstoppable Business Podcast. Dive into top business trends, ideas, and tips to help you run a better business. Let's jump right in today with your host, Arun and Samera.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the latest episode of the Unstoppable Podcast. I'm Chris O'Shea, and again, I'm joined by Arun Mira. Hello, Arun.
Hello, Chris. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you very much. Right. So today, everyone, we're talking about vision and mission statements. This is lesson 2 of our course on Grow Your Accountancy Firm. And today we're going to talk about how we developed our mission, how we developed our vision, and how that kind of informs how we've built and grown Samera Global. So I might as well start off by just reading out our vision and mission statements so you kind of get an idea of where we're coming from. So the vision is that we envision a world where accountants are empowered to build better businesses, realizing their dreams while driving economic growth and prosperity. And the mission is to empower the world's accountants to build a better business. So we use educational resources, consultancy, we provide the tools, everything accountants need to start, build, and grow their firms. So we provide personnel, software, resources. The idea is to help accountants shoulder the burden, ensure smooth operations, and essentially become financially free. That's our goal. So
lofty aspirations, eh? So
yeah, it's a big job, but I think we're doing it quite well.
We're on the path. We're on the path to doing it. So
exactly. So let's talk a bit about how we came to these decisions and how we realized what we wanted to do in the world. So, how did we define our long-term goals and our aspirations for the firm? What made you decide to not just do accountancy for dentists, as we've done for decades, but to really move into the support sphere, the educational sphere, to help accountants grow? What kind of informed that decision for us?
Yeah, great question. Honestly, I think when I started off my firm, many years ago, there was no one to teach me. Okay, you'd try and find stuff out. You try and look online. You try and get resources from institutes and various places. There was nothing really there. So it was all the last 20 years has all been self-taught. And over the last 20 years, there really isn't much. And I've made every mistake possible, Chris, okay, out there in business. And I'm sure I'll continue to make mistakes. But it's those mistakes that actually give you the experience, that give you the grey hair, and you learn. And what made that transition to, say, moving from just servicing clients directly to actually servicing accountants was that, I don't think everyone else should learn the hard way that I did, okay? And I felt that, okay, I can share my experience, my knowledge, and perhaps provide a shortcut for many accountancy firms for them to achieve their aspirations and goals.
Okay, so long-term goals and aspirations are really just to provide that knowledge, support, expertise, and basically make the mistakes so that other accountants don't have to. They can learn from...
Correct. Yeah, learn from my mistakes, okay? I've made plenty, and I think learn from experience, okay? And I think there's a lot of noise out there on social media. Okay, there's no doubt about it. And this is my kind of take on, trying to cut through the noise and provide my viewpoint. And from someone who's been there, done that, got the T-shirt, and done it for many years, okay? I'm not saying I have all the answers, far from it, okay? And I'm happy to learn. And even today, I learned from one of my much younger members in the team. But I think nothing beats experience in business. And if I can share my experience to other people, that's kind of my aspiration.
Okay. And what would you say is the core purpose of Samera Global in general? I mean, is it support? Is it help, education? Is it helping people become financially free? What would you say is the core guiding principle of Samera Global?
I think financially free is a nice term that people use, but maybe it's a bit overused, to be brutally honest with you. I think it's for people to identify and ultimately enjoy what they're doing, okay? Yeah. And really kind of running a business is hard work, okay? Running a firm is hard work. And you're dealing with all the ups and downs with clients, team members, all these types of things. But if I can provide not necessarily a shortcut, but experience and guidance to people, that's kind of my core purpose, really. And it's a great question. I think my core purpose is to ultimately help others, okay? Yeah. For them to achieve their goals. If I can help people achieve their goals, then that's kind of my aspiration, really.
Yeah, it's lovely. So the story behind how we created the vision and mission statements, I mean, I could answer this. It's essentially Aaron and I sat down and basically just hashed out where we want Samera Global to go. We've been working together for years on Samera Dental Accountants, kicked off Samera Global, and obviously the vision and the mission is different for an accountancy practice that focuses on dentists and healthcare sectors in the UK to a global offshoring and support network, essentially, Samera Global. So, yeah, we essentially sat down, we hashed out where we wanted Samera Global to go, what we wanted to achieve, and kind of crafted that into a statement.
And I think if you when they started off Samera Global, it was all kind of talking about providing personnel, offshoring, and that type of thing. But I think it's evolved really.
Oh yeah,
and it's coming round to the whole full thinking of, firstly, educating people, okay, on how to grow their firms. Now, offshoring is one element of that, okay, but it's so many other elements. It's how to handle clients, how to communicate with clients, how to market to potential clients, how to do SEO, you name it, all of these aspects, which all has to contribute to growth, okay? Offshoring is one of the services that we definitely provide to accountancy firms, but there are other things that we're looking at now, such as SEO support, educational training, community building, that type of thing. So I think where we started off at, we had a kind of an idea, but the vision has come clearer, honestly, but by going through it, and that's what I've learned from experience in life, the more you dive deeper, the more clarity you'll get. Okay, well, sometimes you get confused first. Okay, you get more confused and you become overwhelmed. Oh my God, what's this? What's that? But then eventually you emerge from that kind of sea of information and confusion to actually get clarity and think, okay, yeah, actually, this is what we want to do. This is where we're going. So it's actually exciting.
Yeah, and I mean, even just having this conversation is making me realize the biggest guiding principle of all this, it really is support. Because again, it started out Samera Global. We tried offshoring ourselves. It didn't work. We realized we could do it better. We could help people in the way we wanted to be helped. And then that support that we wanted to provide really grew from just offshoring and helping running operations to really supporting processes and just kind of every aspect that anything we know about, we want to try and help people and support them to learn, to do it themselves, to improve their businesses.
Correct. So, yeah. And I think a great example here, Chris, is where we were trying to do offshoring. Okay, we're getting clients for offshoring, but then we had Indian firms, our potential competitors, reaching out to us saying, "Arun, can you help me with some clients?" And it came very evident to me quite relatively early on is that they want clients, they want help. And in my view is that the market is so vast and so huge is that, well, I'm quite happy to help them, to be honest, because not all clients are going to be right for me. Okay. So hence what's come out of this whole experience in the last, 6 months for say, is that, right, we're now developing content to actually help Indian firms, our direct competitors, okay, understand the UK market, understand the US market, understand how to market to Western firms. And there's no greater pleasure than that, to be honest with you, when you can help a fellow professional, okay. Will they take some of my market share? Maybe they will. Am I bothered? Not particularly, okay. If we can all help the industry rise and become better, we're all going to benefit from it.
Yeah,
we're going to benefit from
it's
it.
One of the things that really kind of sets Samera Global apart, in my opinion, that we've kind of got our foot in both camps. For most people, you're either an accountant and you're trying to bring in clients who need accounting work, or you're an influencer who maybe was an accountant once upon a time or just knows a lot about it, and you're trying to sell that knowledge. You're trying to teach people, and it's very rare anyone tries to do both because, on the one hand, you're trying to get clients, and on the other hand, you're teaching your competitors how to get your clients.
Yeah, correct. And you know what? I do wonder sometimes, I'll be honest with you, sometimes, God, it'd be easier just to focus on one thing. Okay. Yeah. But I can only really sell the experience and sell the education and sell the knowledge because I'm actually doing it myself. Yeah. Okay. If I was just trying to be an influencer or whatever, then honestly, what do I know? But things change. It's always changing in the sector. Okay,
Yeah.
so you got to have your finger on the pulse. My view is you got to do both to be able to actually talk the talk and walk the walk, as they say. So,
and that really does kind of perfectly highlight how your goals and your vision really influence and inform your mission. Because if we just wanted to be accountants and get loads of clients and kind of dominate a sphere, that's what we would go for. If we wanted to just teach, that's what we would go for. But I think at the heart of Samera, it isn't just teaching, it isn't just doing, it's both. We want to.
It's a combination.
We want to be accountants. We want to kind of elevate everyone else as well.
Yeah. I think you're right, and this is actually quite interesting to talk about, because I suppose I look at everything very simplistically, but it's kind of like a Venn diagram. Okay, you've got two circles, and in the middle is that sweet spot. One circle is education and learning, and the other circle is the kind of delivery and operation and accounting side of things. And most firms just focus on one bit. What we're trying to do is provide the whole solution, and with that bit in the middle in the Venn diagram. Is it hard to do it? Yeah, of course it's hard to do it. But is it actually is it enjoyable to do it? God, I love it. I love that challenge that comes with it, and that's the exciting thing about it.
Yeah, and that's the next point I was going to make, actually. And this really should be how all businesses, not just accountants, kind of develop their vision and mission. It wasn't just a business decision to do this. This really is, I've known you for a long time now. This is one of your core values as a human being. And I think that's really important for other accountants and business people generally, just to understand that the vision and mission of your business isn't just a business decision. It's not just a business strategy. It's the business, the company, the world, the life you want to build.
Correct.
Is that be the change that we see?
It's who you are. It's what your DNA is, Chris, and what kind of how you want to be portrayed out there in the wider market, in the wider world. I don't really see myself as an accountant. Yeah, we sell accountancy services. Am I a good accountant? I have no idea if I'm any good or not any good, to be brutally honest with you. But what I enjoy is sharing my experience, sharing my knowledge to other accountants, other firms, and my experience. I think that's what it is. I think every mistake I've made, I've learned from, and I can share that now. I encourage other firms and other owners to do things differently as well. And I think that's so important. There's such a well-trodden, traditional way of running an accountancy firm. Don't throw that book out the window. Do it differently, okay? Do it how you want to do it, okay? And I've certainly done that over the last 20 years. Has it been easy? No, it hasn't. Has there been times when I think, oh my God, why am I doing this? Yeah, 100%. There've been loads of times. But I'm correct. I'm in charge of my own destiny, I feel, when I run my firm. And I'm surrounded by a wonderful team as well that can support that. Okay. And it doesn't happen with just me. It happens with people like you, Chris, and others. So I'm very privileged to be in that position to do it. But there are times when you think, oh my God, what have I done? What have I done? What have I chosen? And I know there are times when you hear me talking to you, think, oh my God, he's got another idea. What are we going to do? That was this morning. I know that.
Yeah, it was.
But that's what makes it exciting. And we're always constantly evolving and constant. And that's the thing, constant change. This firm is all about constant change.
Yeah.
If you want a sedate, normal accounting firm, in inverted commas, we're not that. I can tell you that now. We're not traditional. I'm a firm believer in evolving and changing, and it's that chameleon-like experience. Okay, we're always trying to improve. Now, when you're trying to improve, sometimes you don't. You take 3 steps back as opposed to going forward. But that's part of the process. And that's what I love. That's what I love about it.
And that's really important for people to understand, that your vision and your mission, again, they're not just business decisions. They're a reflection of who you are as a person. So if what you want is security, stability, and just a business that ticks along, there's nothing wrong with that. And that is your vision and mission. And that's what you will buy into as a business owner. But who you are as a person and what the kind of business you want to develop, that's really what you need to buy into in your vision and your mission. And that's going to be different for everyone. But everyone,
it will be
yourself about it.
Sorry to interrupt, but it will be. But I think, when you find your true calling or true passion, then you really put your efforts into it. If you're just trying to run an accountancy firm and make the maximum money and that's it, I could have done that many years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. And I could change and reduce certain costs and make more money than but it's never been about the money, to be honest with you, Chris. It's about trying to do something different, okay, and create something much more of a legacy. Now the money does come, okay, as a byproduct of it at some point, because you're doing things differently, and that's what I enjoy the most. If I was just following what everyone else is doing, then yawn. That wasn't for me.
No, absolutely. Like I said, I've known you for a long time now, and I know that more than most. So again, I'm working for like 6, maybe 7 years now. So how do we communicate that vision and that mission to not just our clients, but the team as well? So, I mean, we at Samera Global, we know what we're looking for. We know exactly where we want to go, who we want to be. But for, say, new team members, for new clients, for clients we haven't found yet that we're trying to get in, how do we really communicate that?
That's an interesting question. So for new team members, we kind of have an onboarding process. Is there room to improve it? 1,000,000% yes. Okay. For our team, now we have a team globally, so it's getting more and more complicated. People sitting all across India, in the UK, in Spain, all over the place. And I'm sure we'll get more team members joining soon. So it's important that we communicate on a regular basis. So I'll give an example. My India team, I'm talking to them regularly, even though I'm based here in the UK. We have weekly calls. We'll be as a UK team again. We have regular teams updating people on communications and on what we're doing. One of the things we want to do is have more regular town hall meetings, so everybody globally is on it, and I can just kind of share an update with people. So that's kind of how we communicate it. I think, have I got it right so far? I don't think I have. Okay, I think I have to improve on that. There's no doubt about it. And that came clear to me when I just came back from India very recently, thinking, well, these guys are sitting here in different time zones, and it's great seeing them in person, but how do I communicate and understand that all the team members are in sync, all the team members dotted around the world are kind of understanding what we're trying to achieve and where we're trying to go? And I think that's something I need to certainly improve on myself, I know.
Yeah, it was certainly a lot easier years ago, especially before COVID, when, Samera was
in an office.
Yeah, it was a dozen of us on a busy day in one office.
Yeah.
So everyone was tight-knit. There was one vision, one goal. Everyone was kind of involved because you could hear everyone talking about it from room to room. It was that small. But now that it's a global process and it's a global operation,
it brings just different challenges. Different challenges, but it's exciting. And if I can influence in a positive way people sitting in different parts of the world, to help them, which ultimately will help them achieve their goals, then if my vision helps, if they buy into my vision and understand what we're trying to achieve, and I buy into their vision, help them to succeed, then it's a win-win.
Yeah, one of the things I think we do very well is, everyone I speak to who works in big corporations, even small operations, they essentially get told at team meetings, at town halls, right, this is what we're doing. Go away and do it. Here's your new role. Love it or lump it. But I can't remember the last time you came up with an idea and just implemented it. You always ask people, right, guys, I've got this idea. What do we think? Or I've got this vision of, this is the goal I want to get to. How are we going to get there? There's one thing I think we do very well. We really get the team on board with things, not just.
I hope so. Yeah. I hope so.
And I think we do very well. I think you really get everyone got why, how, and when we're going to do it. Everyone seems to be involved in kind of every asset.
And it's also one thing I enjoy doing is identifying team members who I think have got potential. Okay, and then pushing them beyond their boundaries, to be honest with you, saying that you can do this, give it a go, okay, learn from it, identify what their strengths are, and then playing to their strengths. And I think that's an important aspect of running a firm, running a company. I've identified people here in the UK and in India saying that, and before they know, they're kind of, oh my goodness, I did this, I can't believe it, you pushed me. And that to me is honestly the most rewarding thing, okay, when I see someone grow as an individual. that's priceless.
Yeah.
Priceless.
No, I know exactly what you mean. I mean, on a personal level, I mean, I started at Samera 6-7 years ago, just doing the social media, and I bought into the vision really quite quickly, and now I'm head of marketing because
you're still going, mate. You've got a long way to go.
Yeah.
I know. It's brilliant. It's brilliant, and I appreciate it because I think
one of the key drivers for me on that.
Yeah, it's about pushing you, but also identifying. Let's try this. Let's experiment. I think one thing my degree before I went into this whole kind of space of finance is engineering, and it's all about experimentation and engineering. You keep my job as my business is to keep trying to break it. All right.
Yeah.
That's what an engineer does. Try and break it to its limits, and then hopefully rebuild it in a stronger way. And that's how I've run my business for the last 20 years. See where I can break it to a point where it doesn't break, but almost breaks. I know it sounds completely warped.
No, I know what you mean.
But you can rebuild it in a way that's even stronger, better, more efficient, smarter, quicker, faster, etc. Okay, and that's how you build an engineering product. So
one of the phrases we throw around the office a lot is whenever someone comes up with an idea, it's not will it work, is it profitable? It's usually is it worth testing? And if that's worth giving a go. Like you said, it's not going to break the business. It's not going to bankrupt us. So
correct.
Let's try it. Let's try
it out.
There
have been times where I've pushed it quite close to the edge, but but that's how you grow. That's how you grow. You only grow in those times when you push yourself to the edge. Okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just kind of trundling along, and it's like it's not exciting, to be honest. As an entrepreneur, you need to be pushing yourself to the limit.
It really is one of the things, again, that I think sets us apart from other people in the sphere, not just for Samera Global, but Samera Dental as well. Because, again, it's how many accountants start off in an accountancy niche like dentistry, but then add finance brokers, then add dental practice sales, then add digital marketing services. Then essentially went from an accountancy service to testing things until it, I mean, especially with the buying group, became a one-stop shop. I mean, you need something to do with private dentistry. If we don't do it, we know someone who does.
Yeah.
It was that testing, it was growth, and just help. Because again, like we own and run our own dental practices, so helping other dentists build better dental practices, not just do the accounting for it, could have been detrimental to our business.
Correct. It's like the same thing. It's exactly the same as the Samera Global now. We're helping other accountants. It's competitive, but you know what? We can. The world's a big place. We can help other people. And I'd rather live in a world where we're actually supporting each other rather than trying to kind of pull each other's eyes out. What's the point of that? It's just like the world's too messy already. Let's try and support each other, and there's enough for everyone to benefit from it.
There are enough clients together.
There's enough business out there. It's just kind of support each other. It's an ugly world otherwise.
Especially in the last 10 years or so, standard office jobs are kind of declining, especially amongst like Gen Z and one day Gen Alpha. Like they want to be entrepreneurs. They want to own their own businesses. They want to start their own. I mean, my generation, when we were that age, it was all about just getting an office job. Like no one really wanted to, unless you were a tradie, no one wanted to start their own business. No one wanted to take that risk. But so many people now are trying to start small businesses, trying to be sole traders, trying to be entrepreneurs. There's going to be even more out there in the next 5 years.
I agree. I totally agree with you. I think that it's only an upward trend.
Yeah.
But again, I think people just have to have a clear, as it goes back to the vision, what they're trying to achieve, what's their passion, what's their goal. And if they have that clarified, then they'll succeed, okay? Even if it's a bumpy ride, but they've got to have that clarity of thought of what they're trying to achieve. And it might not it might not be clear immediately. It might take years to get that real clarity. And in my case, it's an evolving piece of getting clearer and clearer. But as I've got older and more experience, you realize, okay, this is what I really enjoy. This is what I want to do. This is how I want to support. And this is how I want to take my business forward.
Yeah, that's probably the key takeaway from all this for listeners. If you want to build your own, when you build your own vision and mission statement, it isn't just about writing something for your about page on your website that sounds a little bit fancy, that you can imagine seeing on one of the big fours websites. It's about being genuinely honest with yourself about who you are, where you want to be, and what kind of business you want to build, and what kind of world you want to shape. Putting that into words and really taking it on board to help develop your own business strategy. Because, I mean, it's so easy to try. Our vision is to be a great accountant and help our clients and be profitable and be excellent. You have to be really honest with yourself about what you want to achieve and how that is going to be shown in your business strategy. It's incredibly important.
Totally right.
Right. I think that was a great conversation. I think that's covered kind of everything about, well, I mean, in as much as you can in 25 minutes.
Sure.
That is a nutshell of Samera's dental and global, our vision and mission. And hopefully that kind of gave you a bit of an understanding about not just how, but why you need to shape a vision and mission statement, why they're important, how they need to influence your everyday decisions in your business, because they're way more important than most people think. They're not just a caveat.
And I think just to kind of finalize on that point, I think it's important to have that clarity of thought. And as you said, you can put it on a piece of paper and stick it on a website, but the key is being true to yourself from the heart, okay, from the gut. What is it you want to achieve? What do you want to do? Ultimately, what's your why, as is quite often said? What's your why? And communicate that out there and put yourself out there and be willing to be kind of people to kind of slate you or be disrespectful or whatever. It doesn't matter, okay? Just be who you are. Be who you are. If you are being true to yourself, that'll start to shine through, and that's when things will start to happen in a really, really exciting and positive way.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Well, I think that was a really good summary of what we're trying to achieve here.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and hopefully it'll help you define and explain and inform what you're trying to achieve in your business.
Yeah, I hope so too. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for today.
Thank you very much, everyone. Join us next time. Next time, we'll be looking at assembling the right team, what to look for, how to find them, that kind of thing. So we look forward to seeing you again.
Cheers. And that's a wrap for another episode of the Unstoppable Business Podcast. We hope you enjoyed it today, and please do share us on social media and make sure you do subscribe. Thank you very much.